Hey 5286ers, welcome to my lesson on Radiology 2.0, Pregnant Appendicitis. Radiology 2.0 is an app tutorial developed by Yale School of Medicine. Its purpose is to help medical students, residents, and practicing radiologists become more comfortable using MRIs for assessing appendicitis. So for those of you who don't have backgrounds in healthcare, MRI stands for Magnetic Resonance Imaging. MRIs use magnetic fields and radio waves to create very detailed images of soft tissues, such as organs, and internal body structures. So if you look at the app, under List of Cases on the app homepage, this app suggests 3 different ways to complete it. You can do it in order without answers, which is recommended for those who are more experienced in reading MRIs. In order with answers, which is recommended for students, or in random order without answers. The app doesn't really encourage this because the discussions build upon each other, but going in order isn't mandatory. For this demo, I'm using in order with answers. The app contains 41 unique cases organized under 8 categories. When you select a case, an MRI image will show up. There are several different ways you can interact with the image. You can drag with 1 finger to scroll through the image, you can pinch with 2 fingers to zoom, and you can pan through zoomed in images by holding 1 finger on the screen for 3 seconds and then dragging. And 1 quick tap on the image will return it back to normal. There are multiple planes or views that you can look at. The discussion tab at the bottom brings up a sidebar with a discussion. Tapping on the highlighted blue text will bring up an annotated image of the corresponding MRI image. The sidebar also discusses diagnosis, treatment options, and recent evidence. I evaluated the app with the Mobile Application Rating Scale, or MARS, which looks at engagement, functionality, aesthetics, and information. Overall, I thought the application was quite engaging, although I think the nature of this app made it seem less engaging when examined with MARS. One thing I would have liked to have seen is more opportunities for interaction within the learning, and perhaps some questions. In my trials, the application functioned perfectly, although it did take quite a long time to download. The only downside was that most people would probably have to read the instructions for this app. Aesthetics was one thing that I didn't like about this app, although it received a respectable MARS score. Although the images are excellent, I didn't find the app to be very visually appealing, especially the list of cases and the discussion sidebars. Overall, the information was excellent. I can't comment on whether it's all medically accurate since I'm not a radiologist, but nothing really jumped out at me. For the activity, you'll need to download the app from the iTunes store. Note that there are 2 Radiology 2.0s, and we're only looking at the one on pregnant appendicitis. Play around with the app for a bit and familiarize yourself with how it works. Then you're going to examine it using the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada's CanMEDS framework. And I'll post a link to the CanMEDS framework in the description below. There are 3 questions I want you to consider. What CanMED role or roles does this app address? Could other roles be incorporated into this application? And if so, which roles and what would this look like? Post your answers in response to this activity on the Blackboard. If you run into any problems, feel free to message me on Blackboard or send me an email. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to discussing the app with you.
Created using PowToon.